When you think of the word sensuality, what first comes to mind for you? This is Jacqueline Foster here, Feeling Good TV, and so often when I have a conversation with someone and I bring up the topic of sensuality, I notice that their first response tends to be something connected to sex or sexuality. I also notice it brings up kind of these uncomfortable sensations or a little bit of embarrassment around, what is this? What are you about to say? Now, I really want to dive more into this for a moment and talk about the origin of the word, because I think that the origin of the word might give you a little perspective as to why we have kind of these uncomfortable, almost embarrassing feelings about this topic. And I'd also, more importantly, like to offer you an expanded view of what it means to be sensual and what it means to experience sensuality. Now, when I was looking back at the origin of the word, it actually went back as far as the 15th century. And one of the things, or two of the things that it said, was that something sensual was something carnal or something unspiritual. Whoa, right? How many of us, I know I don't, want to be connected with things that are carnal and unspiritual. For me, those are things that make me want to run in the other direction. And so that was extremely interesting. The other thing I noticed was that later definitions of sensuality, coming about more towards the middle, the late part of the 15th century, were more defining it as things that were pertaining to the senses or pertaining to the gratification of the senses. Now, for me, that is what I am coming more to know as my definition of sensual. Something that connects me with my senses, my ability to taste, to touch, to hear, to see, to smell, my ability to engage in the present with what I'm experiencing. And that, of course, can be sex, or it can have nothing to do with sex. It could have with having a meal, having a conversation, going on a hike. So many things that we experience during the day can become activities that we experience as sensual activities. And I have seen again and again that the more that I bring an activity into this space of engaging the senses, of making it a sensual experience, the more alive I feel, the less stress I feel, the less tired I feel, the more energy I have, and the less numbness that I experience with all of this worldly chaos that goes on around us. So I encourage you today to think about your definition of sensuality. Maybe write down the definition that you feel you've been taught by the world and by marketing, and then create your own definition of sensuality. Because for me, something that engages me with the senses and brings me into the present, as I mentioned, not only brings me alive, but also for me, brings me closer to that side of me that feels spiritual, connected to my source, and intuitive. And so I think it's about time that we shifted our definition of sensuality and saw it as something that really is nourishing and that is spiritual and that brings us to this amazing and fabulous part of ourselves. So if you enjoy this video and you are intrigued by exploring more of your sensual side, I will be hosting a workshop on unlocking the gifts of sensuality on July 18th. And so I'm going to leave you the link here, so go and check it out and see if it resonates with you. If you enjoy these videos as well, come on over to JacquelineLaceyFoster.com, where you can pop in your email so that I can send you an episode of Feeling Good TV whenever it comes out. Wishing you an amazing day and looking forward to sharing more next time. Thanks so much.